coming to you live from San Jose, and I'm joined by the amazing Rice, which I
Hi.
think y'all should really know about
Hi.
here. Rice, tell the people who you are.
Yeah, hello, I'm Rice. I'm one of the head TOs for the event today. We are honestly really doing a really good job on staying on schedule right now. We're actually a little bit ahead. So, we love to see that as like a tournament organizer, everything is running as we hope. But yeah, we have our top two teams. I'm glad I did the seating well. It wasn't they made it easy, but top two teams. We had Mr. New Zealand versus Triggerfish Zone Supremacy right now.
Which is seed 1 and 2, respectively. So it's spot on seating.
I mean, they made it easy. They're good players. They came here for the competition.
Yes.
I don't think Mr. New Zealand would be super interested if they didn't know Triggerfish Zone's already signed up to compete.
They said, "Oh, we got people to throw hands with." They said, "We got people to beef with," and I think they've definitely been showing that strength throughout the tournament. Both of these teams really. So I'm really excited to see how they're going to be duking it out because these are teams that both of us know here. They know Triggerfish Zone Supremacy.
I mean, I am hosting the whole family of Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. They gotta represent Sunset Surge. We got
Yes,
Pepe,
sir.
we got Shiny, we got DRF, and we got Brian on the side of Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. And you want to introduce Mr. New Zealand?
Yes. So we saw him last game. It's Nico who's our Google, or Ziv, Iridia, and Muty. So we've been seeing them absolutely going insane. Ooh, and here we go, Rice.
Yeah, we're loading right into grand finals.
And there's a DC.
Oh well.
Fellas,
Uh
we lost DRF.
Hey, DRF, get back in the room.
DRF,
DRF, get in the room.
get in the room. Bro got cucked out of first match.
Hey, it's not a Splatoon land if there is no tech issues. That's
That is
all
very
I'm
true.
saying.
But what we did avoid stereotyping was by being behind schedule.
Hey, we are ahead of schedule. That's quite honestly does not happen at a
very-
Splatoon land.
A very rare event.
You will usually be on time. You're never ahead of time, which, I have to appreciate all the teams just being ready to be here when we tell them to. They're ready to play. They're super excited. We had so many first comers for this land. A lot of people were super appreciative of just being able to play, and I'm glad we were able to get everyone some. Our goal at the beginning was to give everyone minimum 4 sets to play, and I think people really enjoyed that.
Yeah, because we come here to play. You don't want to be taken out within your first few matches. So I think that's a very great idea to do here, and especially because we are playing single limb, so we actually can't afford to bring that second bracket into the equation.
Yes, but hopefully no more tech issues. DRF is back into the room. We have Mr. New Zealand on the left side of the screen. Right side of the screen, we have Triggerfish Zone Supremacy.
Ooh, this is going to get real interesting real quick here. Both of these teams we know are incredibly strong, and both of these teams are rushing for that zone, trying to see which advantage can get first. We already see Nico with that wall in place, trying to find some picks, along with these strikes. Those are quick strikes from both teams, actually.
Yeah, the counter strikes coming out after Ziv using their strikes first. We do see a 1v1 trade here. They know DRF is there. DRF jumped out at the perfect time. Mr. New Zealand having cap first, but are they going to be able to push up after?
Yeah, because they're able to keep the paint on the zone. Well, for the most part here, as Triggerfish Jones is just doing everything they can, almost staggering into the zone here as the points continue to tick down for Mr. New Zealand. Strikes coming out for Triggerfish Jones, giving them a lot more space right here. Brugulga's able to take down Brian, so they're already on the side, but Triggerfish Jones has that zone.
Yes, they do, and they see Nico here. DRF getting a nice pick onto Nico. Wow, I can English today. And that's 2 down on the side of Mr. New Zealand. Triggerfish Zones has the zone here, and it's going to start pushing up.
Yeah, we already seen Pepe take that side point of view. He does not hesitate at all right here, trying to put that bomb to just move aside. The Guildhouse are going to be probably a big problem here for them, especially with all the kill power and the wall in front of them. Strikes everything, and that is also going to be a lead swap for Triggerfish Zone Supremacy as well.
Yes, we can see here, it's kind of a back and forth right now. 1 down from the side of TZS. Pepe with that Trizuka tries to get a pick here. Unable to get that pick on a 1v1 with Ziv. Ziv gets that advantage, and this is going to be the zone hold for Mr. New Zealand.
Yeah, they're swapping hands once more right here. Triggerfish Zone Supremacy is forcing the back burner for the most part right here. As they're we've noticed in the past that they kind of play as instead of pushing too far up, they actually wait for the other team to overextend and then choose to punish instead. That is kind of what they play at.
Yeah, definitely. Nico getting a quick pick on Pepe there, trying to push up, has that Booyah Bomb for the continuation, but we see here, ooh, a 2-for-1 pick.
Excellent picks right there, forcing Triggerfish Zone Supremacy already back. But Triggerfish Zone is able to strike back just a little bit with one extra kill, forcing a little bit of stagger, but they have to go now. It's going to be down to those single digits to try and get that zone in their favor, and time is ticking out. I don't think they're going to be able to do it, and that's going to be game for Mr. New Zealand.
Yeah, Mr. New Zealand, we very back and forth towards the beginning of that game. We can see each side really having holds for themselves, but towards the end, Mr. New Zealand, Nico getting that crazy two-for-one with that Booyah Bomb, and then their teammate got another pick for the other side, and that kind of just opened the floodgates for them to just hold on to the zone. No one else is allowed to approach.
Yeah, Hammerhead Bridge lockout also gets kind of nasty sometimes right here. Even if their approach is to punish, they did an excellent job at executing that right here, especially when Triggerfish Zone Supremacy wants to move forward. We know that they like to go.
Yes,
So-
exactly. We are waiting on the counter pick. I think we actually have it pretty fast with the counter pick from Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. Booyah Bay, we had to make grand final start on Hammerhead Bridge right behind us,
Is this way to say? The bridge.
The bridge.
Yes, sir. We love to see it. I'm taking the Kirby.
Kirby? Oh. Kirby? Kirby.
Kirby.
Yeah, but I do wonder what Triggerfish Zone Supremacy will be choosing as a counter pick. I'm wondering. Oh, actually, I don't need to wonder anymore. It is tower control on Hagglefish Market.
We are back in the building. We are back in the building.
Yes, but Hagglefish tower control, a little bit of a different mode for Triggerfish Zones. It's a lot more snowbally once we get past the second checkpoint.
Indeed. That second checkpoint is the most. Excuse me. The checkpoint. That second checkpoint is probably the most crucial one as well, because that is where that snowball starts there on Hagglefish Market. If you can dominate that window on the right of that checkpoint, you are going to be smooth sailing, because that is the most dangerous spot you can get to.
Yes, and we saw TZS play this map mode earlier. I'm not sure if it was on stream or not, but I think Shiny went 23-1 on Pencil on that map.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy, but loading into the games, same thing. Left side is going to be Mr. New Zealand. Right side is going to be Triggerfish Zone Supremacies. And it looks like both teams are sticking with the compositions. Nico on that, again, Booyah Bomb Gluga dualies.
Those Glugas have been proven to be absolutely dangerous there in the hands of Mr. New Zealand. So I'm going to see what those Glugas has in store, even more as, whoa! Mr. New Zealand will take 2 down off of Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. They are wasting no time getting those pigs, taking that advantage for them and running with it.
Yeah, we see Rydia ready here, has the bubble ready, probably trying to aggressively push it. I think they get a trade there in their bubble. Ziv pushing in with that bubble position, Muti holding the tower, and this is going to be a lot of points at the beginning for Mr. New Zealand.
Yeah, this is making a statement right now on Mr. New Zealand. Mr. Triggerfish Zone Supremacy has to find an answer for it soon, and I feel like they're putting a lot of focus on these Glugas right here, but having to leave them just because of that Booyah Bomb and focus that tower instead, which they're able to successfully pull back and stop that push at 51.
Yeah, but we have Radii actually far back in the spawn of Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. I think they're looking to get a pick onto Shiny. That's 3 down on the side of Triggerfish Zones. It's just Shiny left holding the defense.
And forced to jump out on top of that to preserve the bit of special that they have in their favor. So this tower finally getting to move. Yeah, after all that time, the tower was not moving for Mr. New Zealand.
Yeah, I think a lot of them were more interested in getting picks, which is really important. But the tower is behind. That's 3 down on the side of Mr. New Zealand. Take it away, Fufu.
Indeed. So this is now Triggerfish Zone Supremacy to get themselves going with that cooler in their hands. But the Google coming in with that water shot. That Google wall is nasty. It's just nasty, man.
Yeah, that Gluga is doing so much work with the wall, with the shots. Ziv trying to go for that flank, but Pepe sees it right away, Zukas them down.
Indeed. Pepe Zukas go absolutely hard. They're able to punish the Glugas too, which takes off a big thorn in their side as the mini is basically forced to run off on their own here, just trying to get that guy.
Yeah, we see 2 down on the side of Mr. Zealand, 3 down. Pepe with the Zuka. Again, as we said, Pepe and Sukas are insane. Gets the pick onto Guga, and that might be the first checkpoint for TZS.
Indeed, that is going to be a lot of extra stagger in their favor as they're rapidly, and I mean rapidly, approaching that lead score. They only need a few more points. That is a lead in the favor of Triggers and Zone Supremacy. They are going to keep it going. They are on that tower. Actually, I really like that because they're able to check that window as well here, Rice.
Yes, definitely. They break the second checkpoint, and this is what we were talking about. It snowballs so much after the checkpoint. We see Brian there gets traded out, but that's 2 down on the side of Mr. New Zealand, and TCS is still in the other side of the map.
Indeed, and they're not letting up that pressure with 2 other members still up pretty close by. That's our an excellent pick on that pencil. What a shot there from Pepe as members just continue to drop for Mr. New Zealand. Triggerfish Zone Supremacy is have that pressure. They are stepping on the gas, right?
Yes, they're stepping on the gas. Wow.
They're
stepping on that gas. Shiny does go down to the strikes, but it's just Pepe left and the wipeout on the side of Triggerfish Zones. Mr. New Zealand has a lot of ground to cover. That TCS broke the second checkpoint and got a couple points off that third checkpoint.
Yes, indeed. They were able to, further make that gap between those scores, which is going to be huge. It could very well come in clutch here for Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. Now, the thing is, they now have to be on that defense against Mr. New Zealand, and they've shown to be really strong on that offense as well.
Yeah, both these teams.
Bro?
That is not okay, Pepe. Pepe got 2 in the opponent's bubble, and that's just going to stop Mr. New Zealand's push. They have to slow down here. But, as I say that, they're still pushing the tower.
Step on the gas, step on the gas, step on the gas. They're wasting absolutely no time right here. Again, Triggerfish Jones is able to quickly get back on their feet right here. I think once they have that momentum going and they're like, okay, we know what we have to do, they're able to quickly put that into use. Because they're going to be holding this tower. They're going to be trying to, stop them from getting on the tower. Whether they mean basically babysitting it, they're able to get those picks. They're able to do what they need to keep that score in their favor, and they have a minute to stall this out.
Yeah, definitely. And something I do notice about both these teams is they're so good at pushing, but once they try to form a defense, it's really tough. But as I say that, Pepe, tough, unfortunate Zuka pick. But, that's 2 down on the side of Mr. New Zealand. That's a good defense for Triggerfish Zones.
Yeah, this is where you really want to keep yourselves alive, keep yourselves moving, or get some picks here if you are Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. Because with 20 seconds, well, either team really, because these last 20 seconds are going to be that deciding factor of who takes this next game or not.
Yeah, we see both teams. They have the T-Tech. Brian holding on to that GG's strikes. They might just wait for this last few seconds. Brian probably retreating, getting to a good spot. Strikes from behind, actually.
They're
Traded
early,
2 down on the side of Mr. New Zealand, and I think this might be the game.
That might be it with the bucket. No, the bucket's going down here. It's up the Pepe trying to make some waves there, but they're not able to hold that tower. They're going to be forced to go into full defense, and with that Booyah Bomb ready from Nico, that might just be no, it's going to be used early here. This is going to get scrappy. This is going to get really, really, really tight real quick.
Yeah, Mr. New Zealand heard me say that might be game, and they said no. We see Ziff here takes down the DRF. Brian is trying to hold 2 people on tower. Plus the bubble. Pepe trying to push your tower.
Get on there.
Oh, come on. Oh, the jumping in. The overtime. That's the wipeout for Triggerfish Zones.
Fellas, Mr. New Zealand with an excellent push at the end, taking the lead. The lesson, Rice. Never use your GG strikes early.
And also never have the commentators curse, I guess. I kind of just cursed them because at the end, right when overtime started, Pepe and the rest of their team was ready to get on tower. But it was so unfortunate because right when it started, that's when the strikes finished. So Mr. New Zealand could just stand on the tower.
It was like they were able to waste that second and get on there. So this is going to be extremely tight here because now if Triggerfish Zones wants to win, they have to reverse sweep.
Hey, I will say this. Last week at Sea Battle, there was a reverse sweep in grand finals. I'm not trying to say something.
I wonder who won it.
I wonder who won it. But, Mr. New Zealand even showed in these first 2 games. They are so resilient. That first game, they knocked out. The second game, they did not give up. It looked really tough for them in overtime, but they got the jumps in, they got the picks in, and they were just continuing that pressure in overtime. They were not afraid of that tower being lost.
Absolutely. And, that's what we do. So it's just like, okay, the odds are against us, but it's not over. That score is not to 0. And that's what we love to see here on the field. But what we do also know is that Triggerfish Jones is adapting to Mr. New Zealand as well. As we saw, the game was so much closer by that second game, and I want to see that energy be brought up from Triggerfish on Supremacy. I want to see them reset and move forward. It's just like, okay, this is probably a hit to motivation as well. Let's be honest, but I trust.
I trust.
I
But
trust.
game 3, game point for Mr. New Zealand. We are going to Rainmaker Humpback. This is one of the maps where I am expecting Shiny to bring out that Welsh Ring.
Yes.
This
Absolutely.
is also a very strong Tri-Slosher map. So DRF is going to have a really strong time playing around the humps and ledges on this map.
Yes. We also saw that Mr. New Zealand was also pretty fast on this map last time as well. So it looks like both of these teams have experience and are pretty resilient on this map in particular. But I see why Triggerfish Zones took it. 2 of their weapons benefit greatly from this map mode.
Definitely. But game point for the side of Mr. New Zealand. If they win this, they take the set. But double Tri-Slosher
What?
coming out from the side of Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. One original, one nouveau version.
Indeed. So we're going to have double color still on the field. And that jet, I think, is going to be really great, as the Pencil's going to be basically the only one that's going to be able to counter that reliably on the side of Triggerfish Zone. But they're also going to be going 1 down here. Unfortunately, their shot going down as Mr. New Zealand tries to keep making moves. Taking a second, taking a third on the Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. They are going to be moving this fish forward. Get that big fish moving.
Yeah, we see Nico backed up a little bit for that cooler, trying to push back in, but they are marked. But they might take this flank route. Pepe gets the pick on the Rainmaker, tries to make more of a action in mid, having that 1v1 with Ziff, but they have to pop this Zuka for it.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, not able to find anything with that Zuka. Trying to find a second one. That Zuka RNG. Not RNG. The Zuka lottery. We know how that is.
Yeah, but the Shelly, but we do see Shiny does take that alternative checkpoint. Very smart of them. The rest of the team on Mr. New Zealand was not really looking at it. That's the delayed wipe for TZS, and Ziff is starting to push up here.
Yes, indeed, right here. And Ziv able to take a pick on DRF. Yeah, that's DRF. Both of them, really. But not without getting picked off by Shiny's Welshing right there. It looks like that Mr. New Zealand is going to be going for that checkpoint as well, but not without going 2 down in the process.
Yeah, that checkpoint that Shiny took on the other side was really strong, but it made it a super easy path for Mr. New Zealand to get their checkpoint as well. It's back to more of a stalemate in mid right now. We see Brian right now trying to push up, trying to make a play with that toxic miss, but being marked very hard to really shark around with a sharky weapon like Tri-Slosher.
Yeah, the marker is basically a mental switch. Like, whether it doesn't do any damage, but whether or not you think it does or doesn't, it makes a small mental switch in a player's brain.
Yeah, we have a 60 to 61 point scored. Nico gets a pick, tries to go for Shiny, but Shiny said, nuh-uh.
Yeah, those were excellent shots on the wall. That was just able to pick off those Guildhouse. And that's a good chunk of picks down on the Mr. New Zealand as Rainmaker tries to keep going, but it gets quickly stopped by the pencil on Mr. New Zealand. But Rainmaker pop is in their favor once more. They're going to be trying to get a couple more points up and going. Pepe with the Rainmaker, he's going.
Yeah, Pepe, they didn't get too much of a score. That's the wipeout for Triggerfish Zones, but they got a score of 26. It's not over. Humpback is one of the maps where unless you knock out, this game is not safe.
Indeed, that is just Humpback Zone, not Zone, Humpback Rainmaker here for you. Just here to be a menace as the Tri-Slosher able to successfully pick off the Rainmaker. What? That was actually really huge, as that is a delayed wipeout for Triggerfish Zone Supremacy.
Yeah, they have to play a very strong defense here. There's still 2 minutes and a couple seconds left of the game. DRF just throwing out fizzy bombs, maybe trying to paint for that cooler. We see the Zuka coming out from Nico. Nico gets Brian off that Zuka, and the counter Zuka comes out from Pepe.
Indeed, that is going to be 2 down on Mr. New Zealand, though. Triggerfish Zone Supremacy is not letting up on the gas just yet, as Pepe almost nearly was able to go out for that trade, but opting to, wait for the teammates instead right here. Triggerfish Zone Supremacy is still in that lead, but, you also have to play this just carefully in general. These 2 minutes is a lot of time when you think about it.
Yes, but they are slowly picking up that Rainmaker. The Gluga from Nico goes down, but Radia ready to defend that elbow with that big bubbler.
Absolutely here, and things are going to start tensing up a lot more as we approach this last minute and a half, as every team just wants these picks, wants to get going here. Whoa! We love one shots!
Yeah, Shiny's just kind of flexing right now with the one shots that they got, but picking up Rainmaker, they don't want it to reset here. They want to spam this elbow as much as they can, but they have Nico there to have to handle them. Nico gets the trade on the Rainmaker, and that's a crucial trade to not let TZS push more.
Yeah, but TTS is able to quickly get that pop. That pop actually did get a splat onto someone else right there as well. Triggerfish Supremacy has a minute left to try and hold this, as you know, this is where you do not want to lose your footing, or you want to get your footing if you are Mr. New Zealand.
Yes, Mr. New Zealand has only less than 50 seconds to try to make that push. TZS is not making that very easy. We see Ziff pop the tri-strikes, going for that flank on the other side, but we see here DRF sees him real fast and gets the pick on him.
Yeah, bro was there. I'm one step ahead. Never let the next move. Excellent. Excellent. Took us here from Pepe. We love to see that, as you know, Triggerfish Zone Supremacy is able to continue to get these picks. They have 30 seconds to stall this. They just need to stall this out. And, you know, Mr. New Zealand has to step on the gas. Otherwise, that's going to be Triggerfish Supremacy's chance to just hold this game.
Yeah, Radio pops the bubble, but DRF is there to pick him off. Just the pencil from UT left on Mr. New Zealand. And we can see here, DRF is kind of puppy guarding this Rainmaker with Shiny. They're ready for when Mr. New Zealand tries to pick up the Rainmaker.
There it is. There it is. Where they try to grab it here, but they're also playing against the pressure of a Welshing, which, is more pressure from Nico here. That was just a split second that it was unoccupied. You know, they're able to grab the Rainmaker, but this is going to get really dicey really quickly because they're quickly approaching this elbow, and Triggerfish shows Supremacy. Oh, no, what happened?
I think a stray bomb from either Pepe or DRF, the Fizzy or the Splat Bomb, got that pick on the Rainmaker. You know, we saw Pepe go for that flank, and Ziff was ready to defend the Rainmaker, but they traded, so that gave the advantage to Triggerfish Zone Supremacy at the end there.
Absolutely. What an excellent game right there. Triggerfish Zone Supremacy by the last 2 minutes knew what they wanted and what they needed to do, and that's just prop.
And honestly, this can be a huge momentum switch.
Yes.
Switch for TZS. We know they're very strong momentum players. Once they're energetic, they're ready. They have that adrenaline in them. They're ready.
They ready. Hold on. I gotta give them their motivation plushies. Hold on.
You know, we get Fufu giving them plushies. You know, you gotta motivate the teams a little bit. Triggerfish Zones got that first win, but New Zealand still being up in this set 2-1. They only need to win one more game to win the set. So we're waiting on the counter pick from Mr. New Zealand. This is their first counter pick of the set. So we will have to see what they go for.
Indeed. I'm very curious on what they're planning to pick, really, because it really could be anything. I think beating into like what the Doolies want, the Glugas right there, is very powerful.
Yes. I'm expecting probably something like Clam Blitz. I think that would be something. Earlier when I was listening to them talk, they really liked Clam Blitz as a team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the next mode when you really think about it. All of our other modes have already been played. So Clam Blitz makes a lot of sense, and they were shown to be incredibly strong on Clam Blitz as well, showing to basically sweep a lot of the games that they played.
Yes. Well, also, they're not allowed to pick Splat Zones anymore in the set. So, you know, next closest thing for at least a lot of comp players is like, I really like zones. Okay, I can't pick zones. Okay, let's Rainmaker, maybe not. Tower or Clam Blitz are usually choices, but you know, Tower, actually they want Tower Control. What am I saying?
Yeah,
they also can't choose Tower Control. So Clam Blitz is the last choice for them.
Indeed. And I think a match is actually finished up right there.
I believe we heard the third place match has finished. Maybe we can ask them for the results, but you know, you want to go ask them? We are waiting for the third place match results. I believe they finished, but you know, these two teams are playing for first and second place. They are locked in. They want to win first place. First place, again, reminder, first, second, and third get medals with their placements. First, second, and third also get Sendu badges. But first place will get an art prize from our one and only Amber, who is tabling right now.
I didn't go far back enough. So, it's okay. I'll get it after this. Well, we'll see it afterwards.
We'll find out afterwards. You know, we'll have that medal ceremony for first, second, and third. And, you know, it's amazing what having that pressure on people can bring out of them.
Absolutely here. And I want to see where this match is going as we are on Particle in Time. Clam Blitz. Oh, this is where the noise starts.
Yeah, but we do see Brian making that adjustment, going to that 52 gal. You know, maybe trying to say, hey, you have a wall, Nico. I have a wall.
Wall for wall combat. Where's the jelly? Where's the jelly? There are the boat jellies. We love our boats.
Yes, but we see kind of again the stalemate in mid for Clan Blitz. It's really who gets that clam economy and who gets that early advantage.
Absolutely here. And that first advantage is going to be going to Mr. New Zealand, taking an excellent. Actually, no, they're going to be going 1-for-1 picks on each side right here. But New Zealand already moving extremely fast and really forward, having that power climb already in their possession as Nico goes right in to try and just find more picks. Wall for wall combat is crazy.
Brian said, "Hey, you have a wall, I have a wall." Like I said earlier, that wall for wall combat. Nico trying to get Brian trying to shred Nico from that booyah, but gets traded out from Pepe.
Yeah, and you just gotta watch her back in these situations right here. As they're unfortunately going down by Zip with that excellent shot right there, forcing. Oh wait, they might get sandwiched right here, not without a trade.
Yeah, that trade going down. That's gonna be 2 down for the side of Mr. New Zealand. But TZS is still playing defense here. Radia was able to set up that bubble, getting jumps in for Nico, and Nico's slowly pushing back in.
Indeed. But Chinese able to get an excellent shot right there, putting a lot more pressure on the members of Mr. New Zealand. As the rest of the team, they want to step on the gas, but unfortunately, Gal's going down. And, I think we're getting a lot of scrappy mid fights here, Rice.
Yes, very scrappy. I think, TZS knows they have to make a strong advantage. And Radia and Mr. New Zealand know they also can't push without at least numbers advantage. That's what's so hard about this map on Clan Blitz. Just having mid is not enough.
Indeed. And what's even crazier is that once you get a good momentum going, there is room for a lot, and I mean a lot of points. Oh, this Booyah Bomb can actually get really dangerous really quickly. I think I actually got shredded.
It did get shredded, but I think Brian got traded out with that Booyah Bomb. Ziff pushing back in from where that Booyah landed. That's 2 down on the side of Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. A third one, and slowly New Zealand, they're able to open this clam basket.
There it goes. And with the bubble to call for it as well, putting a lot of extra pressure, but no, it doesn't help him under the rat. The Pepe, who's able to go just swim right through, forcing another member to go and jump out on top of that. A short push for Mr. New Zealand, but a push nonetheless.
Yeah, a push nonetheless, but a score of 80 is very hard to defend. You get a power clam and 1 clam in. A lot of the time, you want to try to score 2 power clams, but there was no follow-up for Mr. New Zealand. Again, such a scrappy fight in mid. As I try to say something, Ziff pushes up, tries to push Brian. Brian gets taken down, and it's just 2 people left on TZS to defend.
Absolutely. This is not where you want to tunnel vision either right here. So get your defenses up, get them up and going right here, and just slowly but surely try and get your defense going. 2 going down on each side right here. It's just a waiting game between both of these teams on where they want to go. A push has not been made from Mr. New Zealand yet. And TZS is trying to move. They got 2 down on the side of Mr. New Zealand as well.
Yeah, we see Pepe going for that aggressive push. Tryzuka's Muti gets that pick on Muti, and that's a delayed wipe on the side of Mr. New Zealand. Triggerfish Zones has to score now.
Yeah, they got some time, really. If anything, if they can get a little bit more space here, it might lead to a more sustained push as well here. I think they're going to be trying to play the game that Mr. New Zealand was trying to play before, where you wait to extend and then you go. And there they go with that second power clamp going into the basket, and some more clamps to call for it as well. I think it's just really just trying to sustain the pressure that is under the basket of this. But I think that might be the end of the push with Shiny jumping out. When your anchor goes, no, the rest of
the rest of TCS is there.
Wait, that's a pity. That's a pity.
And this might be the knockout if they get that. Did they get the
They get it. They got it in. But the pressure's not done.
The pressure's not done. You see, Brian here has a couple clams to try to stall. Shiny has their back. Shiny has to back up a little bit, though. Pepe holding this front for a jump. No, gets the follow-up in, and they got the knockout. I talked about a reverse sweep after the second game. And, TCS heard me and said, hey, let's do it.
Right now, this is also the difference in mentality as well, where now Mr. New Zealand, who was able to go 2-0 in the beginning, now has their momentum snatched from them. Like, they had the rug pulled under them. As Triggerfish Zone Supremacy is able to take the next 2 games and potentially takes the last game. There's a lot of stress on both of these teams, but I would argue even more on Mr. New Zealand because of the lack of momentum.
It's stressful, and,
yeah,
they might be like, what if we choose the wrong counter pick? What if we choose a map that we weren't expect, a map mode that we thought we were gonna win, but then TZS brought it back, literally with Barnacle and Dime.
Yeah, and then they might choose Clams again because the Clams is still in the pool. They haven't won on Clams. So there is definitely a momentum shift happening, but anything is possible between these two teams. Let's be honest. They still took 2 games off of each other. That being said, I think Clams and Rainmaker are the only 2 counter picks that are available for Mr. New Zealand.
That is correct. They are only allowed to pick Rainmaker and Clam Blitz left. They also can't pick a map that has already been played on, or they cannot pick a map they have won on already as well.
Yes. So those are counter pick rules here. If you are familiar with counter pick, now you know. Now you
Yes.
know.
Now you know
now
about
you know
counter
counter
picks.
pick. Only you can
I
keep counter. I help.
we are getting in that last counter pick. I think we're getting just that information in, but I do wonder if it's a Clam Blitz match again. Mr. New Zealand has to be careful when they push in because that last game they did get in, but unfortunately not a lot of follow up really around there, and they went down on that offense.
Yeah, and we're going back to Clams here, and we're going to be going back to Umami Ruins. Ooh, Umami Ruins Clam Blitz, which I got beef with Umami, but the lockout can be really heavy. I think this map is going to definitely be one of those where whichever team gets that first large push win in is going to take the lead.
If I'm gonna be honest here, this sounds like the Zimmy player picked this map.
You're not wrong.
This is such a strong Zimmy map with how the Zimmy kit is. Zimmy has Toxic Mist, where you can just throw it into that chokehold and no one can push through, and you have to push that chokehold to make a score.
It stalls. It stalls out really hard. And that bubble on top of that can also lock out that chokehold. That is a Zimmy player's dream.
Yes, but that Zimmy player being a crucial player, but Nico, the past 2 games has been struggling a little bit. They haven't been able to make those crazy plays that they were doing in those first 2 games.
You don't know what it was? Wall-to-wall combat. I'm so serious when I say I think the wall-to-wall combat was the biggest contester from stopping the Guildhouse from doing what they wanted. Because you have a wall wrong, because they have the pattern of dropping a wall and attacking. So if you put a wall in front of that, guess what? You can't attack anymore.
Definitely. We will have to see. I also wouldn't even be surprised if maybe Brian goes for that V-try slosher again. As I said, Toxic Mist is so strong on this map, and maybe if they don't go with that, Shiny might go to a Welshing. Same thing. Welshing has so much area denial.
It depends, though. I think Pencil might actually be a better pick for this map anyways, because if you can take over either the dome or that center, you take up a lot of space. It is very Pencil biased, in my opinion. But Grand Finals, Game 5! Let's get it through. We got to say the ready, get, set, go. We got to.
All right.
Ready?
Go!
We have these teams up and going and ready. I don't think, we're not seeing those comp changes from either team here, right?
Yeah, Brian said, hey, that wall-to-wall combat was very nice to play against. You see Pepe get the early pick on Nico. This is going to be a bit of a momentum swift towards their side of map. That's 2 down on the side of Mr. New Zealand. The bubble is pop. Pepe on that dome area with that Trizuka.
Yes, and with these whales coming out on top of that to displace more members of Mr. New Zealand, those Glukas are going to be going in, taking a pick, getting 52! Nico, even though they went down early, they are not shy of getting some more aggression on the field, checking their surroundings and getting ready to go. That quickly stops Triggerfish on Supremacy. He's in their tracks here as Mr. New Zealand continues to get their resources in center.
Yeah, Mr. New Zealand trying to get their resources. They're trying to make a power clam here, passing clams around to each other. 1 down on each side of the map, or each side of team. We see Brian trying to push up top mid here. That gets help from DRF there to take down Nico.
That is an excellent pick there from DRF right here. Cooler looks up and ready. Cooler's going to fight right down on Mr. New Zealand. This is now just the post. Triggerfish on Supremacy getting that ball into the basket, not wasting any time. That is 2 power clams in the basket. This is where this lockout is going to begin, Rice.
Yes, this lockout is very tough. This map has very good clam spawns. We see Shiny jumping in with more clams. Only 5 more clams for TZS to knock this game out. But just Pepe there under the basket. DRF is the last one alive, is respawning here, and Mr. New Zealand has to push up fast.
That was a nasty push. That was a nasty, and I mean nasty push.
It was a nasty push. We see DRF getting that pick in mid, has 6 clams, gets that cooler down. They're looking at Nico, trying to take down Nico here.
Yeah, indeed. And with the Booyah Bomb coming out from Nico here, I want to take an extra pick on top of that. Nico's momentum is put to a stop with Shiny taking an excellent pick onto them. That bubble is going to be in center to try and keep that space for Mr. New Zealand, but arguably might have been popped a little bit too early here, Rice.
Maybe a little too early, but I think they're trying to hold that mid space. One goes down for the side of Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. The strikes come out from Mr. New Zealand. They're going to try to push up with that.
Yeah, indeed. That's going to be a lot of space in the favor of Mr. New Zealand, but that Zuka coming in from Pepe to just force that small mental switch right here as Nico's down. Nico's going to be going down. Again, taking down that Glugas is going to be a large loss of aggression there.
Yeah, that's going to be 2 down on the side of Mr. New Zealand. Muti has to back up a little bit. Rydia kind of holding that chokehold. Nico gets the trade in that choke area, but this is going to be TZS holding mid.
Oh, but the pencil fights are going to be in the favor of Shiny right there as they're able to take that pencil, which, again, another loss of pressure because that anchor is going to be going down right here. Even though members of Triggerfish Zone Supremacy are going down, they're together here. They have the opportunity to move where they want to, though it could get dicey. Whoa! Look at that!
That's 3 down on the side of Mr. New Zealand. Another push back in for Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. They're going to open this basket, have a lot of follow-up here, and there's one more clip.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I want to point the mic at them. They are popping off. They are going insane. The reverse sweep.
Triggerfish Zone Supremacy with the momentum, with the movement, taking down Seed 1 with the reverse sweep.
If we can, they're twerking.
I need to go hit them with a pillow.
So all the excitement, all that reverse sweep.
God. What a game.
What a game. What a set for grand finals. At game 5, I think that was our first game 5 of the day.
And it's a freaking reverse sweep. Triggerfish Zones for Supremacy are your Booyah Bay winners.
Yes, they are the Booyah Bay #1 winners. We will be trying to get all the top 3 teams in a photo just to give them the medals they have earned. If any would like to bring the medals, we can show them on stream.
Yes, we can. Bring them this way. We switch the camera over.
If we switch the camera over to the venue cam, Annie has the medals in frame. It's beautiful. These medals were made by the amazing Fusion, 8-Bit Fusion on Twitter. Underscore 8-Bit Fusion. But, you know, Fusion did an amazing job on these medals. You know, first place going to Triggerfish Zone Supremacy. Second place going to Mr. New Zealand.
And I think third might have been on crack, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe third was on crack. You know, these teams came out, represented, played their hearts out.
And did an amazing job. What an amazing set. I want to go congratulate them real quick, Rice.
We, you know, we'll do a little quick BRB. We'll have the players come up to the cameras, get their photos. But yeah, Fufu, that was our grand final set, our final set of today for Booyah Bay.
What an amazing time here at Booyah Bay. Thanks for having me on mic, and what an amazing event you ran here, Rice.
Of course, I'm so happy. Everything pretty much ran really smoothly, and we got the tournament finished ahead of our end time.
Nearly an hour. 45 minutes ahead of time.
Exactly. Well, Fufu, where can the lovely people find you?
You guys can find me at @SplatFufu on Twitter or Blue Sky, depending where you want to find me. I do commentary, background shenanigans, and of course my art. And it's been an amazing time here at Booyah Bay. Rice, where can the lovely people find you?
Everyone can find me on all my ads will be We Like Rice. It's one word. Sometimes in caps, sometimes not. It depends on the website, really. But yeah, you can find me there. You can find us more action of Booyah Bay in the future at Booyah Bay _SPL right there.
Yeah,
If you're ever interested in what's going on in the Bay Area, you can always follow that Twitter for Bay Area Splatoon.
Indeed. Well, what an amazing event. Of course, we still got the medal ceremony to go through here, Rice. Thanks for having me.
Of course. It's my pleasure to have hosted this event. I can't thank enough everyone who came out, my team who, you know, we've been working on this for months. We've been talking about this for months, and it's unbelievable feeling of just this is real. This is happening.
Real, and what an amazing job. Genuinely, it's mad props here. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time put into this, but oh,
But yes, we will throw it back to the venue cam, and we'll have the medal ceremony there.
indeed.